a basic tutorial on how I make the day to night photos by using only 2 single shot photos. I felt there's a need for me to make a little bit of explanation because there's a lot of imperfection in that footage. If you really look at it properly, I'll tell you why later. I can just make another perfect shots and do a tutorial on how I did it. But I think it is good to use this imperfection footage as an example. Maybe you are in the same situation as me, or if you are planning for a plain fresh shot, then you can probably avoid all the messy stuff that is happening with my footage to save your time in editing. You can do this with both photos and videos actually. An actual time-lapse or hyperlapse will look even much more better and cool. Of course, if you just want to make something simple and reasonable, photo will be a lot much more easier to handle. Since I did that by only using 2 single shots photo, let's stick to the simple process and get the idea of how to do it. Once you got the basic idea, you will be able to use the same technique to create a lot of wonderful stuff. In fact, I use this kind of technique in almost all my videos. Before that, let me show you the unedited photo I took with my DJI Mavic Mini. No crop, no color correction, no color grading. This is a day photo taken at around 10:30 in the morning, setting at f2.8, a fixed aperture with the Mavic Mini, ISO 100, shutter speed at 1250 seconds. This is the night photo taken at 9:22 PM, setting at f2.8, ISO 100 with 2 seconds shutter speed. The major problem you can obviously notice from these 2 photos are the aspect ratio. Why? Because these 2 photos were actually 2 years 3 months apart. I shot this on January 2020 and this on April 2022. When I first got this drone, I'm not sure whether it's the default aspect ratio set at 16:9 or my itchy hand go and change it. Anyway, it looks cool on my phone because it fitted entirely on my phone screen. I think yours too if you are viewing on your mobile device right now. Later after that, I realized that, oh no, I wasn't really fully utilizing the camera sensor. The 4:3 aspect ratio produced about 4000 times 3000 pixels, and that equivalent to about 12 megapixel. While the 16:9 aspect ratio produced about 4000 times 2250 pixels, and that equivalent to 9 megapixels, and that's a crop photo. Actually, I can't really remember the day photo until I shot the night photo, and then I transfer the file into my computer on the same folder because both of them are the same location. I segregate my folder, my computer, the photo folders based on the location. So when I transfer the file into the same folder, I then saw the day photo, and I was thinking, I got this day photo and it was 2 years ago. So can we make something about it? Most of the things are different except that the takeoff location of the drone are almost identical. Anyway, let's not go too much into this. Just a brief explanation on what is going on here so you know why both of the photos are taken entirely in a different way. Who knows? Maybe you got into a similar situation like me. If you are planning on this kind of effect, whether from ground camera or drone, it is best to take the photo or video on the same day, or maybe a few days apart is alright. But as long as you remember the camera spot, reference point, or focus object. If you are flying drone to capture this kind of shots, do start on the same spot and remember the altitude and reference point. In my case, the reference point will be the Petronas Twin Tower of Malaysia. You can also use grid line to assist and align your shot properly, so you can avoid all the nasty adjustment during editing and make your life easier. A minor difference is fine, you can fix it in editing. Just don't be like me making a pretty huge difference and still trying hard to make things work. This kind of video is all about your personal creativity. If you have the time and chance, maybe you can take one photo on the sunrise and one photo on 10 o'clock in the morning, maybe 12 afternoon, 3 o'clock in the evening, 5 in the evening, and then when the sun sets, the golden hours they call it, where the sky will turn orange, blazing red and kind of stuff like this, you know, just the amazing color on the golden hours. And then one at night where the sky is totally dark, 9, 10 o'clock. And then if, you know, added bonus, maybe one at the wee hours, because some of the buildings turn off their lights. Then after that, you can just merge everything, maybe like 10 photos in and make it into a 24 hours looping effect. And I think that's a pretty cool footage. Maybe if I have the chance, I want to try it out on these shots. So let's get into the basic editing process. By the way, I'm using Filmora. Don't worry if you are not. You can apply this basic technique of editing to most of your desired editing software. So first of all, we have to select our project desired aspect ratio, since both of the photos are not the same. We go into File, Project Settings. I'll be using 16:9 aspect ratio as an example. As for the resolution, is up to you. Since the image taken can be considered as a 4K, I can just edit in 4K or edit in 1080p. That one is entirely up to your selections. So in this case, I'll just go for a 4K, and then the frame rate is up to your desired settings. Then click OK. Now we're going to import the two photos into the editor. What I normally do is just highlight both of the photo and then drag it into the editor. I will then drag two photos into the timeline. I have to separate into two layers. The first layer will be the day shot. The second layer will be the night shot. The top layers are always on the front with Filmora. So yeah, because I'm doing a day to night shots, day will be on the first layer and then goes into the night. At this moment, we will just ignore the imperfection of the two photos. I will just show how the blending or the transition process. So if you have your own photos and you wish to do it, you can just use this transition to get it done. So since the night photo is the aspect ratio is 4:3, I will have to enlarge it. You can either enlarge it from the transform panel, or you can go to the animation, customize, and then change the scale here. But in this case, I will just change to the change on the transform panel, change to 135%. It will become a 16:9 aspect ratio, match with the day photo. So now, as you can see, the day photo as it goes by, it goes into the night. But this transition is very rough. You don't really want to make this kind of transition. In order to smooth things up, you can select the night photo on the second layer, double click, go on the animations, customize, and this is where you can add your keyframe on the starting of the night photo. You add it, and then on the ending of the day photo, then you add another keyframe. So from the start at the keyframe here, you change the opacity to 0%, and this is how it looks like. It's slowly faded into the night. Let's just give a quick preview. But you see that the transition is kind of too fast, I think. So it doesn't look quite good. What you need to do is to increase the duration of the clip. So just make the day photo to 2 seconds, so just for an example, and then the night photo to about 2 seconds as well. So about 4. Alright, somewhere around there. Now the keyframe, you have to move it accordingly as well until where the day photo ended. And then now we take a look. Now it looks much better. The transition is much more smoother. But this one, the duration of the transition is really subjective, because normally, if for me, I will edit according to the music. The music will give me the cue on how long is the day photo, how long is the transition period, and how long is the night photo. Now we take a look frame by frame, and it goes into the night. As you can see here, it somewhere looks like an evening, but because the building lights has already turned on, I think it still looks a bit weird. I mean, yeah, if it's just a simple edit, it should be fine. So if you want to improvise this edit with an easy way, and you only got 2 base photos to play with, you can actually use the day photo to manipulate into kind of the evening field. Or you can also select the transition, because the sky is getting darker. You can just screenshot one of this scene. You can use this to screenshot this scene, and then you can just change the sky color to maybe orange or red, the golden hour, the evening field. But as for my case, because there's too many imperfections in these 2 images, so I can't really take a screenshot and change the color from here. So what I do is I use the day photo. I'm just drag another day photo into the timeline. I will just do a quick example to change this day photo into an evening field. I go into this advanced color tools, click on it, and then color correction. So from here you can make some color adjustment. I'll just fast forward this part because this is all up to your individual preference, and I'm just doing a quick one for example. Okay, so this is just a rough idea on the evening field, the orange color tone and stuff like this. So we will use this as an example. Okay, so now just assume that you have 3 sets of photo: the day photo, the evening photo, and the night photo. In this case, you will require 3 layers. The night photo will go into the 3rd layers, and the evening photos will go into the 2nd layers, because day, evening, and night. So you increase the duration, just for example. Alright, so you do the same to the evening shot. Okay, over here, double click on the photos, add the keyframing at the start of the evening shots, and then same goes to the end photo. I just zoom in a bit. Alright, add a keyframe at the end here, same goes to the night photo. Alright, then change the opacity of the evening photo to 0, and then this is how it looks like. That's the basic on how to make a photo transition from day to night by using only 2 shots photo and 1 manipulate photo with a simple fading transition effect in editing. Of course, after all the color settings, in my case, I will need to align the photo properly to make it look like a continuous shot. And since these photos are 2 years apart, with changes on the building structure, different camera angle and distance, it will take a lot of time to make the adjustment. I won't be showing exactly how to make the adjustment, as I think it is too time consuming and too subjective. Basically just playing with X, Y, and scale. So I just fast forward this part. Make sure you had a better aligned shots than mine, so it won't take much of your time to easily make this. In my next video, I will show the exact timeline of the original edit, including how I make certain building lights up and trying my best to cover up the imperfection. So make sure to hit the like and subscribe button to my channel, czrdronefilm. See you in my next video.